The Room Podcast, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. We are in the house with two, right? Blaine Shutt, who you can see right now, the handsome devil. And we got Kris Moutinho coming on at around 9:05 to talk about his huge fight at CES 61 when he came away with a second round finish. But we're going to start off with Blaine Shutt tonight because he's got a couple of things that he's working on since coming away with a CES flyweight title back in January. He was supposed to defend that in March, but COVID hit, and the rest is history. So now we're coming out of COVID, and we're welcoming Blaine on. What's going on? The Shuttdown, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be back and talk some more shit.
Well, dude, you've been tuning into my podcast the last few weeks when I have some interesting fighters that I've been on, maybe in your weight class, and you've been you've been blowing up my feeds, wanting to get on and talk some shit. So, what's going on, my man? I had to get you on by yourself. I couldn't just throw you on at the end. I had to have some edits ready for you, some cool shit. I like to add that bling when I'm interviewing people. So, my man, what's going on? And I think you've called out every fighter in the flyweight and bantamweight division in New England. Who are you looking for now?
Whoever the hell's willing to step up at my actual weight class, or unless they want to pay me to bump up to 35. I'm game for anybody.
Well, you were talking about, going up at 135 and, taking on anyone. You maybe were going to go against Johnny Cupcakes. There was other names in there, Richie Santiago. I think that was for the flyweight title in April. But, Richie's fought many fights at bantamweight, so that would be a pretty good fight also. Was any of this talked about in the last couple of months? CES just had that big card last month. Were you talked to about that card? Was anyone approaching to you about that, any fighting or anything like that?
Yeah, I was offered to be on that card and fight for the 35-pound belt to become the first ever CES champ, and I agreed to it. I said, let's do it. So there has been mixed.
Oh, I lost him. Hold on. There he is. Hold on, Blake. Yeah, you were talking about mixed. There's been mixed messages and stuff. So start with that.
All right. So there's been mixed communication from what I'm hearing from CES, from myself. Me and Cupcakes was offered to fight and whatnot. So I agreed to that. That was actually supposed to be a fight that was supposed to be getting on Bellator, and then that fell through. And that was for some big change. That wasn't a regional thing. That I'll come up in weight class for a huge payday. Absolutely. On Bellator, even better. Let's do it. Send me the contract. But it didn't end up happening because I guess I didn't get the clearance to go from CES or their appraisal because of me being their champion. Bellator felt that they needed to get their approval because I guess that they have a nice relationship. Meanwhile, I'm fucking ripping at the tether to get in there. I'm saying yes every day, hitting up people every day. What's the word? Is it go? Are we good to go? Can we do this? Is this happening? Is it happening? And then Cupcakes ends up talking shit on social media, and I'm like, I'm saying yes. This shit's gonna happen. I'm all about it. And then ultimately, it didn't end up happening, and so there was mixed communication in there from what he was being told and to what I was being told, and then everything got shoved under the rug, and then CES happened, their last show, and they're like, all right, well, nobody wants to fight you at 25. Richie Santiago can't make it. He turned down the fight. So how about you fight for the 135-pound belt? You can become the first ever champ. I was like, set, let's do it. I don't give a shit. Well, they offered me Richie again, and this is me. I'm actually kind of enjoying the little niceness between me and Richie, so I'll continue it with a little bit of pepper. That he turned down fighting me even at 35. So, I didn't ask him myself. I didn't reach out to him. This is just the matchmaker, CES, telling me what happened. And then there was a small little quick go of cupcakes getting brought up. And I was game, but I was game only if I was going to get paid, because they ruined me out of getting a really nice payday. And Bellator was sitting there saying that that's a match that they actually want to look back on and make. So I'm not about to take that fight on a show up a weight class for not even a quarter of what Bellator wants to make it happen, let alone it being Bellator. So I was more or less hesitant to be like, yeah, no, I'll wait. So again, he starts talking his shit and stuff, and, you know, I'm battling back, and I'm like, listen, buddy, I don't fucking fight for free. If you want to fight me for free, then we're going to fight for where it doesn't fucking matter. I'll come to your front goddamn lawn. You can sniff my crotch with your shit talking. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. You gotta have a bigger vocabulary than that. If you need to, carry a fucking dictionary with you and just pick a word. Sniffing my crotch has been done. That's like eat my shorts from Rugrats. Like, come on, Chucky.
Well, Blaine, let's talk a little bit about that, because there's a lot of revolving doors with these two weight classes. Cupcakes, you were actually offered the fight that Cupcakes went to get in Brazil, and I think Richie was offered that fight also. I think they were both offered it after you. You were offered it maybe first, and you didn't have a passport to go to Brazil.
I forgot about that. Crap. What's it called again?
Toro.
Yeah. So Toro reached out to me, and they're like, hey, we really want you to fight for our interim bantamweight title. We think it'd be a great match, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I jumped at the gun. I was like, fuck yeah, let's run this, blah, blah, blah. I heard a little bit about them being a really nice up-and-coming show and shit. So, again, I jumped on it. And they're like, oh, well, it's in like a week and a half, and it's in Brazil. I'm like, oh, I don't have a passport. Otherwise, I'd do it. And I was like, I can work on that, but obviously it's not going to happen anytime soon. So I'm like, I'm down for the match. If you guys have any shows coming back up, which they end up doing, I think they said they're having something happen in the United States.
Yeah,
now.
in Florida. In Florida, they're coming to Florida. So.
Oh, so and he's like, yeah, we just got something signed that they're going to be on television or something like that, and that they're coming to the United States. And I'm like, well, look at me. I was like, hand me that 125-pound strap with the 135-pound strap and sign me up. I'm game. I'm fighting. I don't give a fuck. Like at this point in time, like I love CES. I think the guys are cool and everything like that, and I understand the COVID fucked everything up. But me as a fighter, I have obligations, and I need to stay active. I need to fight, because that's how I provide. Yeah. And me being a father, I got to provide for my daughter. And so this isn't like a UFC roster where, like, you know, like where somebody else would possibly be content. Even then, I wouldn't be content. You know, like a lot of fighters that I know of in the UFC are terrified about getting put on the shelf, because, yeah, they're there, but they're not making any money.
Yeah.
And that's the big part of this game. I'm up to fight anybody. I'm not scared of fucking anyone. But this is a business. I'm not here for fucking pride and glory. I'll get that in due time. I'm here to get fucking paid and make a nice run and do my thing and become the next fucking superstar.
Excellent.
And it's also fun.
Well, you know, holding that CES belt, I mean, that does hold weight there. They are a gateway to the UFC and bigger promotions. Not that there's not much going on as far as that, but, you know, there is some light there for guys like you who hold titles there for CES. But is there, you know, have you shopped yourself around to other organizations beside like that Bellator fight? Were you looking at other places? And are you allowed, you know, under CES to fight somewhere else? Are you under contract? Like what goes on with that as far as you being able to go somewhere else?
Personally, I don't really know. I'm not really all that book savvy. I'm more or less like, let me punch my way through this. Luckily, I've had help and guidance through your friend Lars and stuff like that to figure these things out for me, and even Perry Gibson down in Virginia Tech MMA, who will occasionally like put their hand into the situation when I don't know what is available or what I should do. But me as myself, I mean, I've reached out to promotions like LFA and shit like that, saying, yo, I'm like, I want to fight for your flyweight belt, and like putting them on notice and whatnot. Like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. And again, I don't have any hard feelings towards CES about the whole Bellator mishap. Even though you know yourself how heated I was getting over the situation. I mean, I was ready to walk away from that belt just so I can make that fight happen, you know. And I mean, I'm glad I didn't. Like you called me down and shit. I am completely happy being the CES champion. It's just the COVID situation, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's your livelihood. You need to put some, you need to make money. I mean, and money comes along with sponsors and endorsements and getting to that next level. I mean, you need to stay active for the UFC to keep their eyes on you. So, Blaine, I know there's, you've been talking to Lars and you've been talking to me. We've been going back and forth trying to get you some activity. There's something there's something you're working on now that seems that it might happen. I mean, you do have a shot at it. What are you working on now, and what's going on with your career?
Well, right now, obviously Bellator has me on their like matchmaking list, so that's cool. But on the other side of things of me trying to get to a fight, I guess the Ultimate Fighter's coming back, and I threw in my application, to be on the show, and I actually just got word today that they had took my application and are reviewing it. So, that's neat. I mean, I kind of feel like I have a shot of getting on the show. I think I have a great story. I think I have a great personality. I definitely have a thing for the camera.
Yeah.
You know? So, I'm not bad looking. I'm entertaining. We all know I'm entertaining to watch in the cage, you know? So, Jesus, people.
Yeah, you let it go. I mean, it's just a little beep. We can't see it, so that's all right. It's what all messages for you. You don't have a girlfriend, do you?
I don't, but I wish I did.
That's what it's all from, right there. You got all women hitting you up right now.
I wish it was from her. It ain't. As bad as I wish it was, it ain't from that. It ain't from who I would like it to be from.
So we're looking into the Ultimate Fighter now. The Ultimate Fighter, I know they announced it on the last card that was coming up. I think it might be in March. I'm not sure, March of 2021. But they start taping that show months in advance. So what is the timeline for when they start taping that show? When do you think you'll get a final answer from them?
They said as soon as possible because they're actually going to fly me out if it happens the beginning of next month. I think it's November 30th to December 5th. They'll be out there to do a bunch of shit and whatnot. So, wow.
They're all tagging you. They're all tagging you in this podcast. That's what's going on.
All right, I got to take care of.
Yeah, everyone get off Blaine's fucking messenger, will ya? He's in the middle of an interview.
I've taken my wrestling team down to a dual tournament in Maryland this weekend, so all the parents are like getting last second information from me and stuff.
Well, cool. While we talk, all right. Well, let's jump to that wrestling. Let's promote that a little bit. I know you got a wrestling team. You've been doing this for a while. Let's talk a little bit about that, and we'll get back to that Ultimate Fighter stuff. So what you got going on? You got a big tournament coming?
Yeah. So there's a tournament called the NHSCA's. It's like a national dual tournament. So this will be like our end of the year wrap it up thing of all the dual tournaments that we've done. So I run Team Shutt Wrestling, which is a USA All-Star collective team. So what I'll do is we'll pick national tournaments to go to, and I'll collect a team of the best kids from around the country, and we'll go to this tournament and pretty much go whoop up on some people and win some shiny medals and championships and whatnot. But it's a cool thing because normally what I am being able to do is getting a bunch of kids from around the country that wouldn't necessarily have had the opportunity to be on such a team and make the friends that they've made, and let alone bring some of the top talent to a event that wouldn't necessarily have that if I didn't go through all the headache of recruiting, talking to parents, scheduling flights, figuring out information and shit getting done for doing these tournaments. So it's a give and take for what wrestling has done for me. It's just an added bonus winning everything the way that we have all summer. We've won everything we've done so far. So this will be the last tournament of 2020. And I've actually never won this tournament in the past 2 years. We became runner-up. So we're going to win it this year. So my Heisman team will win it this year. I also decided to put a middle school team together as well. So we're gonna win middle school and high school, and that'll be a nice way to end Team Shutt Wrestling 2020 COVID. So
awesome. Is this a family thing? Like, who else is involved in this wrestling program with you? I mean, it's got the family name. Who else is involved with it?
so pretty much the family aspect came from to how I even started it. So I started Team Shutt when my brother was back in high school, roughly back, I want to say 2014, 2015, because my brother was a 3-sport athlete. And he eventually decided that wrestling was what he wanted to pursue and through college and everything else. And he was a very socially awkward person. He had friends, don't get me wrong. He wasn't weird. He just wasn't very, like, embracive. Like, he wouldn't go out of his way to go talk to people, or he wasn't very inviting to people coming to talk to him either. So I was like, here's what I'll do. I was like, let's go do, like, some random wrestling tournament, and we'll put a team together of some of the kids from around our section. And so you'll get to meet them and get more involved in the off-season wrestling, because he's never wrestled year-round. And wrestling year-round is its own thing, and it's just its own busyness, like, because he was a 3-sport athlete, so he legitimately did everything in sections. So he doesn't have the taste of wrestling year-round, the difference of what in-season feels like to out-of-season feels like, and to what it can do for you. So I ended up putting the team together, some of the guys around the section that he'd see at tournaments through the year and become friends with them. And that team we put together ended up winning the tournament we did. And they all enjoyed it so much, and they became, like, best friends, all of them, and there's nothing like a wrestling friendship,
Yeah.
You guys grind together, start together, and then the whole concept of, like, the dual team aspect. You're literally, your match is individual. So it's all an individual situation, but there is the side end of the team scoring points situation.
Yeah.
That now you're not just by yourself. Even though you are on your mat, you're still getting cheered on from your buddies, because what you do individually will help the team.
Yeah.
So that aspect just built, these kids just bonded together, became great friends, and as it became to grow, it went from some of the best kids in the section to the best kids in the district, to the region, to the state, to the East Coast, to finally, like, now it's a USA squad. And so the aspect of it is from how I built it to my brothers, where the team to this day, the OG team that I put together, like, we're all like brothers, we're all a practical family. I still talk to these kids. So even guys afterwards, once they started to, we formed, like, this family relationship where I become, like, a father figure to them, or I become part of their own family, or a brother, or just, like, a really close friend to the family throughout their experience wrestling for me. It's not like, hey, come wrestle for me because I'm going to use you and your skill to win this tournament. It's, I'm taking care of your child. I'm opening my heart to you, my home, to allow you in, to give you the opportunity to wrestle, and let me give back to you my knowledge and the love that wrestling's given for me, and to what I decided I wanted to do for my brother, to give you the opportunity that I built this whole thing for, specifically for my brother, but now it's for everyone.
Excellent, my man, and it's doing well, like you said. Is any of these kids have aspirations to follow in your footsteps, become MMA fighters, and go to the top?
I've actually had quite a few, because, like, the cool thing is now is that, like, we've been established now for roughly 5 years. So I still have my guys that I've had from their freshman to sophomore years are now into their freshman, sophomore years of college. So it's starting to get into that aspect of where I had those guys that were some of the top guys in high school that are becoming big names in college now in themselves. So, like, they become the national champions and eventually end up having the aspiration to get into the MMA world. And I've already had a few to this day that are like, Coach, I don't really want to get into fighting. And I'm like, wait till you graduate college first, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah, get that education. I mean, because, Blaine, a lot of, most sports, I mean, there's more to it after college. I mean, you got baseball, football, basketball. Go to college for that. You become a pro, a pro at that, making good money. I mean, wrestling, there's not much after college in wrestling as far as maybe just coaching and doing tournaments and stuff like that.
No, and that's the thing, obviously there's the Olympic dream, but that's such a small percentage, you know what I mean? And then what's great about MMA is that it did allow us to have that pro league thing after our thing. I mean, I definitely think that that's what the majority of wrestlers end up doing now, because that is our pro wrestling career now, is MMA. But, I mean, I keep telling them, to this day that I like. Look, I mean, MMA is fun. I love it and everything, but education is the most important thing. I mean, I know there's like all this. Well, I know guys that have master's degrees that work with me at FedEx. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Like, I understand. Maybe they just did the wrong thing, or maybe they didn't achieve or like what they ended up doing in educational wise. That's why the whole aspect of the education is so important. But like, you got to like make that decision and commit to it. A lot of these people didn't commit to it, and the reason they didn't commit to it is they weren't wrestlers. They didn't have that discipline that we grew up with. So us being wrestlers, what wrestling gives you is that discipline through when you do end up hanging up your shoes in real life. You have the capability, strength, mental awareness, and everything to push through to what your decision on life ends up being. And that's why wrestling is just such a beautiful thing, and like probably the best sport that could benefit outside of being in itself than any other sport in itself, just simply because of the mental stability of it, the aspirations and everything that you achieve through wrestling, let alone just the toughness in itself of real life situations. I mean, cutting weight, maintaining weight, the physical fighting situation that us fighters do in the cage, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing all that shit for free,
Exactly.
And they've been doing it a lot longer of a career than any MMA fighter's going to have. So we've already, being wrestlers, have suffered through 90% more than your football player has, than your tennis player has, than your rugby player has. Name another sport that's cutting weight like we do.
Yeah.
Not one. And just that alone in itself, the discipline between cutting weight, there's nothing like it in this world.
Excellent. Well, you're going to be jumping to 135, hopefully for the not the Contender Series, for the Ultimate Fighter show that's coming back. When we started talking about the wrestling aspect of your game, I had a video of you and Tony Gravely over there doing some drills and stuff like that. We do know Tony being the former CES Bantamweight champion and then going on to the UFC. I know he's got a fight coming up. Have you been getting any rounds with him? Any working with Tony, helping him out?
No, not recently. So he ended up making the move down to American Top Team down in Florida. So he decided that he needed some space from me bugging him all day down in Virginia, where I'd usually end up going outside of AK for my fight camps. No, just joking. But no, he did make the move down there permanently, so he's kind of a little further away. We have been in talks of like helping each other through our fight camps and everything. Unfortunately, down at American Top Team, they're still not necessarily allowing anybody in their gym yet outside of who they know, or obviously if you're a big name with the pool you have.
Yeah.
So Tony doesn't have that pool to get me in there just yet. But I still bust his balls every now and again, and we talk a lot. He'll always be my team captain, and we'll definitely get back together here for a camp here soon.
Excellent. Well, if you are going and if you get picked for the Ultimate Fighter, man, like you said, it's going to start in January. Not January. When is the taping start, you think?
I'm not exactly sure, but I know that they told me that I just need to make sure that they can fly me out for the week at the end of this month to the first week of next month. So whatever pre-protocol percussion or whatever they're doing at that situation, that's what the next step will be.
Excellent, my man. Well, your last fight was in January where you captured that title, man. What have you been working on? I mean, you're going up in weight, and you talked about, going up in weight for a while now, man. What have you been working on? What have you been trying to get shopping in your arsenal here to get ready for this opportunity?
A lot of boxing. I've had a lot of real life issues kind of like shatter a lot of my training ability right now. Both my vehicles are out of commission, so it's really affecting my ability to go train and cross train at all the places I have. So realistically, I'm just getting a lot of my boxing in, and my MMA just not as much as I would have. I'm still making it happen. I'm still getting my training in. It just had to take a minor bump in the road. So hopefully I can get my vehicle back and get back to pumping it out. But I mean, I've been still training 3 times a day, getting my strength and conditioning in. I'm lucky enough that it's in walking distance, and my boxing is right across the river. So I'm able to get all that into my sparring and whatnot. And then obviously MMA because the connections I have, I'll just hit up Darian Cruz, who's an NCAA national champion, to come down to my house and wrestle with me, or Gerard Garnett, who's a Virginia Tech All-American. Wrestling will never be a problem for me. And then jiu-jitsu wise, go to Moser's Mat Club, wrestle around my boy, and do some jiu-jitsu with Ben Moser and Vlad. We'll kill him, do some stuff, So I'm doing my thing, I'm still doing it. Obviously, what I really like to do once I have something signed in paper is I'll be out there with DC and Habib out in California for AKA, and which I already have in the works that as soon as I get this, it's a go, I'm already going right back out to AKA. So that's all set up in itself too.
Definitely. And we don't know who the coaches are going to be there for on that show or anything like that. Man,
you don't. I might.
Oh, you might know. My man, are you ready to be stuck in a house with a bunch of killers and not be able to go into, kind of civilization and just be... I mean, well, actually, you're used to it. We've been in COVID, so you've kind of been locked away anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm out there. Listen, the funny thing about the whole Ultimate Fighter situation is that that was my introduction to what the UFC even was. So back when they did, I think it was I want to say Tough 18 or Tough 14, whichever one was with Dustin Pegg and Dennis Bermudez and Johnny Bedford when Mason Mayhem Miller was the coach. That was the first season I ever watched. That was my ultimate favorite season. Then Jason Mayhem Miller was the first real fighter that I was ever oh, this is cool shit. He's funny. I love his hairstyle.
Well, he used to have the bully beatdown.
Bully beatdown was the shit. I did his hairstyle. Then I ended up knowing who Dennis Bermudez was and Dustin Pegg and stuff, which ultimately, funny story, is where I ended up getting my start, was where they came out of. That my whole MMA career tied into knowing them and stuff, and ultimately I got to watch them on the Ultimate Fighter, and that's what my main goal always ended up being. I was I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show. And funny how I might get the opportunity to be on the show, because I actually did fly out to Vegas a couple years back when they were going to do the flyweights, and I was going to go do the tryouts. I flew out there, everything with my ex teammate Matt Lozano, and as soon as we landed and everything, we went to Fight Capital, and then we ended up getting notified that the tryouts were canceled and scrapped. And then they ended up changing the whole show into individually picked people that they decided were champs of the promotions. And at that time, I was not a champion at any promotion. So I ended up not having the capability going. But hopefully this time I get to go and I get to be on the show. And there's a new game going around or whatever, where there's a bunch of people or little things on a ship, and they have to figure out who one person is that's killing everybody.
Oh, like a video game?
Yeah, it's a big thing right now.
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's called Imposter or something like that. Where they there's these little different colored things running around, and then there's one person where they need to figure out who the killer is, and he has to kill everybody before they figure out who it is. That's gonna be me in the house. I am literally going to destroy everyone. And 'cause I think it's gonna be a 2-weight thing.
Yeah,
there's gonna be bantamweights, and there's gonna be dude. I'm gonna be trying to fight the bigger guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, look, I'll bump. You want me to bump foot, bro? Because I'll come up to let's do this. Where's the paper at? Lay it down.
Well, you're a character. I'm sure they're gonna love to have you on camera. I mean, and getting along with a bunch of other guys in there. I mean, you need someone in there that's gonna make light of the situation when you're all stuck in there. And I mean, a lot, like you said, a lot of these fighters in there become these major names in the UFC, and they all become friends from that house, and they all stick together down the line. They have that camaraderie that they went through that together. You know what I mean? And the thing about it, like you talked about, you really haven't been getting much MMA training, been focusing on your boxing, but a lot of that show focuses and helps you with training, and helps you out there with all different looks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best part of my game has always been my ground game anyways. my hands have always been great, but everybody thinks they're suspect because I've never necessarily used them. It's more or less to the fact of like I was never forced to, so it's like why reinvent the wheel when it works, you know? But it wasn't until I realized that like there needs to be more of a showmanship. Is when I was like, all right, you know what? Time to let these hands go, because if that's what everybody wants, you know, fine. But you best believe if I need to fall back to it, I will fall back to, all right, time to shoot in a second.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you talk about the hands. I mean, I don't think you've TKO'd or knocked anyone out, but you do have 6 subs, I do believe, in your 8 wins. So, I mean, like you said, you go to what works, and of course you're going to go to your bread and butter, and if someone gives it to you, you're going to take that leg, bring them down, and choke them out or whatever. I mean...
Well, I do kind of wish I had my boxing coach with me, because, like, I am... I don't know everybody. I haven't met all the 25-pounders in the country, but I am definitely probably one of the hardest hitting 125-pounders in the country, and nobody even knows it yet.
Excellent, my man. Well, last thing I want to ask you, man, you know, I want this to happen for you. It would be great for you to be on that show, and having that CES flyweight belt definitely helps you out with some bling and show off. I mean, that's a big promotion, and of course, they're on Fight Pass. So, I mean, that's partners with UFC and stuff. So, you know, right there, having that belt, you being successful, 8-4, 6 subs, big time wrestler, having a big, you know, a big fight, wrestling, what do you call a wrestling what? Wrestling team under your belt. Like you said, you have a lot of interesting things to talk about on that show. Also being a single dad. They look for stuff like that. They look for stories like that. And with you producing, definitely. It'd be great to see you at 135 and see what you could do there, man. Last thing, brother, because I got Kris Moutinho coming on soon. Last thing I want to ask you about that CES 61 card. Who impressed you there? Who'd you like on that card, and what'd you think of that show, the first one back from COVID?
I was definitely glad that CES did another show. I heard about the pay cuts. They definitely wouldn't have been able to afford me. So, and then secondly, it was outside. I am not a cold weather person. So there's another X towards me being like, all right, I'm not that all pissed because I don't want to fight outside. Especially in the cold, because I hate the cold. And I've already fought outside when it was 102 degrees, and that was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. And I'll never do that again unless it's the UFC and they want me to fight in Abu Dhabi on the island. I will do that in a heartbeat. But again, it's because it's the UFC. Not throwing shade at whatever, but that's becoming, taking the thing of gold, they're grabbing some silver. I want gold. I know what I'm worth in the fight world. I don't know what I'm worth coming from a girl that I'd want in my life, apparently. But coming from a fight world, though, I definitely believe I've shown and put in the work that, like I need what I deserve now. Being one of the elite guys in the world, you know, like, it's cool getting nationally known and world known. Like, you know, like, I've never been world ranked before, and I'm world ranked now. I've never been top 18 in the U.S. ever in anything before, and I am now. So it's awesome. I'm legitimately in my fight career now is making up for what I didn't achieve in my wrestling career, and that's one of the biggest blessings I have in my MMA career.
Excellent, my man. Well, I know we're not going to get the beans on if you're picked for the show because you got to kind of keep that quiet and not leak that out. But if I don't see you on social media much throwing videos and talking shit to other fighters, I'm going to assume that you might be heading to that show at some time. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on you, my man. And I'm sure I might get some beans, but I won't spill them, that's for sure, man. I'm wishing you luck, brother, because you're an awesome guy, awesome fighter, and you definitely need some action there. I'm loving
How's
it.
my hair? My hair look good?
Hair's looking good, dude. Hair's looking really good. Last thing before I let you go, how'd you like my costume last week?
Oh my
Enough said.
God, that was some of the funniest shit I had ever seen. Then, let alone like just the random parts where you just pull out the gun, and you're like, oh, you stupid bitch! You're like, you were killing me. That was hilarious, man.
Awesome.
There's very few podcasts that I listen to, but I love watching your stuff. I love being on your stuff. I really appreciate you giving me the time and everything else. And I did forget to say if anybody impressed me on that show. And I will say that there is a specific somebody, and I'm not going to call any names out because you still got to prove to get a chance at me, in my personal opinion, because you haven't fought nobody. If you truly are coming down to 125, I will be more than gladly to whoop your fucking ass because you did not impress me in any way.
All right, my man. I know exactly who you're talking about, and that'd be a great fight if something doesn't work out with that Ultimate Fighter show. But I see it happening for you, man. I wish you all well. Last thing, you want to throw any shout outs before you go? Any social media, anything like that?
Yeah, obviously. Shout out to the chick that I'm in love with that doesn't like me back, as always. Someday, somehow, I'll have my hopeless romantic situation, hopefully. Shout out to my teams, everybody out of AKA, Manny Rose Boxing, Moser Smack Club, Matt Rizzo, Ben Moser, Manny Rose, DC, the Luna family. Everybody's helped me out with the whole situation and getting me in the cage. Lars is doing a lot for me without me having to sign on the dotted line, which I'm pretty sure he'll have me do here shortly. And I'll be more than happy to, especially if the big aspect of what I've really been looking for out of a manager happens. Again, thank you so much for having me on the show, man, and all the gags and funniness and getting my content out there and following me and becoming a fan as much as I'm a fan of yours now too, brother.
Well,
and my daughter. Shout out to my beautiful baby girl, Allison, whenever the heck she ends up going into high school and doing this is what my daddy does, and pulls up a little picture or video of situations that I've done in my past. I love you. Teacher, you better give her an A. Don't forget that I'm a fighter.
excellent, I mean. Well, there you go. CES flyweight champion here, Blaine, the Shutdown Shutt. Hopefully getting on that next Ultimate Fighter show, man. And we'll have the beans for you. We'll be talking to him exclusively when we get on there. If we are able to, we don't know yet. But, hey, Blaine, we wish you well, man, and all the power to you. Get on that show and, represent New England in your hometown and all your fans there.
All right, man. Appreciate it, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. You have a great night.
Later.
Take care. Awesome. Well, there you go. Blaine, the Shutdown Shutt. Not waiting on Kris Moutinho. Let me see. Where are we? Right here. Hopefully Kris Moutinho is around. Let me, what do I got to do here? Shut that off. There we go. Let me, is that Kris right there? Where is Kris? Gonna see if Kris... Blaine saying he loves our video chats. That was awesome. All right, let me see if Kris Moutinho is available. And if he's not, it's because he's training or I don't know. Let me see. So anyway, is that Kris? No, let me see. Oh, Kris is ready. All right, calling now. Let me get Blaine's stuff off right there. Let me get it off right there. Oh, that's my stuff. Hold on. This is why I need a producer. Let me get this off. Let me get Chris's stuff on there. I got it all ready to go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Where is Chris's? Kris is calling me. All right, hold on, Kris. I'll call you right now. Let me just get your stuff on. There we go. All right, Kris, I'm calling you, man. Here we go. Kris is probably going to blast my speakers. There we go. Blast my speakers off. What's up, Soulness?
What's up?
Hey, hold on. Let me get you on the screen. Let me get that face on the screen here, my man.
Sure they're ready for this, the ugly ass face.
No, not at all. There he is. All right, let me just fit you on, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, man.
There's the Soulness. Hey, Chris, first thing I want to ask you, do you have a nickname? Is Solness your nickname? Do you even have one, or you still working on it?
No, I don't really have one. I say I like this soulless thing was like a gimmick thing that I was just doing, but it's kind of sticking. You know what I mean? It's not really like a nickname, no.
Excellent, man. Well, you don't need one. You're doing the work in the cage there. You know, Kris Moutinho's fine enough, man.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations, man, on a huge, huge victory and fight of the year, fight of the friggin' decade. That was a tremendous fight, man, and everyone says the same thing, bro. Fight to remember there, man. How'd you feel about it, and how was it? How was it to get back in that cage and for CES after COVID?
Yeah, man. This is everything that I love about life, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is literally all I like to do, man. And having that year off was kind of like, it was like a bitter pill because like I was coming off those two losses, and it was kind of like I I'm a very prideful person, which is a downfall of mine, kind of. But so it was a really hard thing to deal with, just sitting at home, not being able to do what I want to do, and go out there and perform, man. Because like wins and losses aren't the biggest thing to me. Obviously, I want to win. I'm very competitive, and I want to be able to get out there and. But I really like what I like about this sport is the test, man. I get to go out there with the best and see if I'm the best, and that's the biggest thing for me, man. So that this fight was great, man, and all the hype the kid was getting was even better, man. You got Chael Sonnen calling him out, saying he'll fly him wherever, and nobody wants to fight him, and this and that, man. And I didn't even think twice, man. I didn't think twice when they offered me. I'll fight anybody, man, and that's throughout my whole career, from amateur to pro. I've had titles. I've fought for titles. I've been doing this. I fought everybody, man. Everybody that realistically, if you're looking at a career, man, you want to go far. Like you don't take these fights, man. You build up. You take easier fights. That's just not how my career has gone. And I've got a couple losses from it, and that was just me getting in my own way. And it's now it's starting to click in my head, man. This quarantine was actually a blessing, if anything, man. I had time to reflect on myself and see my imperfections and my flaws that are getting in my way, and get in touch with my head, bro, the thing inside there, and try to fix a little bit of that. So I feel great, man, and moving a regiment and training with those savages over there like Mitch and Aaron and Matty Franco and Brian and Tommy and all these killers over there too have really helped my game, along with still training with all the guys that I grew up with, and it's just amazing vibe right now.
Excellent. Yeah, you speak about going over the regiment and getting in with those guys. Is where else you cross training other than regiment? Are you still? I know your old gym did that shut down, or did that get turned over to someone else?
No, it's still there, different name, but I just work with my boxing coach still there.
Okay.
But that's the only guy I work with still. Like I work with the other guys, I'm still cool, but the gym's not the same, so I don't really go through there anymore. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just I work with my boxing coach still. Like all the guys from all the guys I came up with the sport, Brandon Demora and guys like that I grew up with in the sport since the kid was like 14. Man, I still grind with them, and I'm here, bro. Like, you know, I've been in this sport a long ass time, and people don't even realize it. I've been here almost 10 years, grinding with killers, dudes that have made it to the UFC, dudes that have been around the UFC. My first coach was a legend. Grew up in the Ultimate Fighter show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Came in the sport, so I know what it's like to have the ups and downs, and seeing guys grow and they have the growing pains. And it's just my turn, man. It's my turn. I'm here, and I'm gonna have my shot real soon.
Excellent. Well, you had that last fight over a year ago. You come back, Chris. Damn great fight, like we said, fight of the year. I mean, you know, fight of the decade as far as regional stuff. It was outstanding. What did you I mean, you grew a lot mentally as far as COVID and having the year off. What did what about your skill set, and what did you learn as far as that from that year up until now?
Yeah, I just work everything, man. My wrestling, I've been a wrestler most of my life. ground game was like natural to me. I picked up my striking. My boxing feels really good, man. I gotta move my head a little bit more. Obviously, take a few to the face, too many to the face. But you know what I mean. My cardio is better than anybody in the world, man. I can push anybody. My hands, they're gonna keep coming. If you don't kill me, you're gonna regret it. You know what I mean? You gotta get me good, and that's it, man. He landed a good one, but didn't put me away, and you saw what happened.
Exactly. And you talk about that cardio there, and that was definitely, I mean, your hands there too, but that cardio definitely took over in that fight. And Joe Lozon and Mike talking is doing the commentators. That's what they were really speaking about. How you just you just picked it up, and that kid was on he was on his back heels the whole second round and most of the second half of the first round until you finished him. Did you feel this kid fading? Did you feel him, you just breaking him?
I feel them all fade. You know what I mean? Every fight I've been in, that's not the first fight that looked like that. I fought a dude who's killing it right now, Damon Blackshear,
Yeah.
and that's how the fight went. He was good the first round. Every round he got a little bit slower, he got a little bit weaker, and that's all these fighters, man. I know my cardio is good enough to take anybody to the deep waters. I fought Tony Gravely to 5 rounds,
Yeah.
and I was losing the fight. I wasn't tired 1 second. I was in the fight going for finishes the whole time, and that's why I got knocked out. You know what I mean? I'm going for it. I could have laid there and just covered up and not get. I'm going to finish, and that's why I know that I'm what these guys are asking for. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that get their opportunity and go out there and just fight scared and fight because they're worried might get knocked out on national television. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I'll take the repercussions. You know what I mean? I'm here to finish a fight, whether I do or not. That doesn't matter to me. I'm going for it the entire time, and I'm one of the best in the world. And I just got to get out of my own way and prove that.
Well, Chris, that fight definitely put you right back in the radar. Like you haven't lost the fight. I mean, huge fight there. Where do you think this puts you? I mean, it's you're an 8-4 guy. They're really looking at that last win, and it was a huge one, and it was for CES with a lot of eyes on it. The first CES card coming out of the COVID there. Is there any talk? Do you have anything in line? I know CES got another card coming. Are you looking to get back in there as soon as possible before the year end?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let my manager do that, man. I got the best manager in the business right now, Tyson. Beast, man. Guy knows what he's talking about. So I got things in the works, man. 8-4 is a good record, man. I think that kid that you were just talking to is 8-4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's the difference? He's got a belt. It's not that big of a deal to me. I got finishes. I've had 10-second finishes. I got finishes all over the place. You know what I mean? I've done this shit for so long against the best, and I'm not worried about it, man. I got my name in for that fucking shit too. The Ultimate Fighter shit. Everybody's going for that now. So I'm just doing everything, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let my team handle all the ins and outs of this, and tell me who I'm fighting if I get something, if I don't get something, So realistically, I'm just ready. I'm ready whenever they say let's go.
Now, Chris, I'm sure there's a lot of people, wanting to talk to you and stuff like that from that fight. Are you right back in it? Are you is it like you never left and, you're right back there, ready to go, ready to do it and ready to, go for that run?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. I have a really short memory when it comes to losing. You know what I mean? It's how you have to be, man. It sucks. I hate it. I get a little depressed for a couple of days, and it's right back. Business as usual, man. What am I gonna sit there all the whole time and just worry about it? No, I don't care. I forget the whole fight, man. I'll do every one of those fights again. You know what I mean? Because I'm not afraid of nobody. I don't care what you did, what happened to me. So yeah, man, I'm right back in it. I'm ready to go, dude. Like,
Oh, I think I lost him. He'll pop back. Oh, wait a minute. There he is.
okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, no, I love how fickle this sport is, man. It's like you lose once and like nobody remembers you. Like You know what I mean? I've had so many wars, bro. That fight wasn't the first fight like that. I've had like 3 or 4 fights like that where I'm coming and going and putting on the fight, and I lose once, and everybody's like, the kid's going downhill. I was in the B side of this fight. They put me in the B corner with all the out of town guys, which is fine, man. I get it. I was on a 2-fight skid, and the kid was 3-0 coming up. I get it, but realistically, dude, I've been doing this forever. You know what I mean? I fought for you. I fought for CS for 12 times without any questions about who I'm fighting. Never asked for anything. So it's kind of like a kick in the face, which I love. I'm not bashing CS. I love CS. Thankful for everything they've done for me. It's just I know how this sport works, and it's very fleeting. It's like they love you today, forget you tomorrow. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm just gonna take it. When I win, I'll thank you all. I'll thank everybody for the love, and then when I lose, I understand. I'll go into the shadows for a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure I'll lose again. I'm sure, but they're gonna hate every second of that loss, man. Because I'm gonna beat their faces up.
And that's definitely the way it goes with you, Chris. I mean, it's either do or die with you. I mean, there's never a dull fight with you. It's always exciting, my guy. Now, as far as this Ultimate Fighter, talking to Blaine, he had his application in. They got back to him and said, we'll get back to you. What do you think the timeline? I asked him, he wasn't sure. What do you think the timeline on it before you get an answer from them?
Who knows, bro? I don't know. I'm putting it. I'm just getting my shit in. So who knows, man? And I've never been lucky with this shit. I'm just gonna stay optimistic and hope. You know what I mean? There's probably thousands and thousands of guys with better records, undefeated records, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, God's in my favor and gets me in there, gets me going. If not, it's just back to the drawing board, man. I keep going, I keep fighting, I keep putting the thing in. I'm only 28.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 28. I got at least 3 or 4 or 5 more years in this shit, going hard. And I'm in a good headspace, man. I've said that before, but now it's just time to just like I said before that last fight, man. Just prove what I'm saying, man. Just stay positive, stay focused. I feel like my downfall has been talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's me, but it's not me. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing things in this sport because like it's what's expected. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to other people. That's what I feel like a lot of these fights that I'm getting in my own head is because I'm listening to what other people are saying, and instead of just doing what I do, you know what I mean? I bring the war. You know what I mean? I love the blood. I love being in a fucking dogfight. You know what I mean? And I know it's not smart for my brain, and maybe I'll be a vegetable in a few years. Who fucking knows, man? But I'm gonna love every fucking minute of it, dude. I'm gonna love every minute of going in there and swinging my fists. And if I make a little money on this shit, I make a little money, you know. But that's not what I do this for right now. Right now, I don't do that for this. I don't have kids, man. I got me and my girlfriend Blaze, and she's my world, and I got my family. But right now, I have a job, man. I got money. If this shit doesn't work, I have another job. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm fucking giving everything I can for my glory, for my pride, for my honor, man. I want to know that even if I don't make it, I did everything I could to leave a legacy for myself. You know what I mean? Whatever I can do.
Excellent, man. Well, I can't ask any more questions after that, man. That was a segment and a few words just to send us home here. Chris, last thing before I let you go, man. Shout outs, anyone you want to say thank you to, sponsors, anything like that, throw it out there and I'll let you get going.
Yeah, man. My girlfriend Blaze, my family, all my teammates that I've had, regiment guys for fucking taking me in, man, and like making me feel at home. And I never once felt like a stranger in that place. So thank you to all them. Thank you to everybody who sponsored me over the years, man. And yeah, thank you to you for letting me come on. And it's been a while, man.
It's been a while, man.
It feels like it never left, bro. This is amazing, and what you guys have been doing for local MMA is amazing. And just thank you to everybody who supports me and allows my name to get out there. And young ass Portuguese kid from Milford, Massachusetts. It's very humbling, man. It's an amazing feeling.
Excellent, my man. Well, congratulations, Kris, on an amazing fight. Just last month. You knocked it out of the park there, brother, and glad to see you back in the win column and, getting maybe an opportunity to get on that show and represent New England in a huge way there, brother. So, Kris Moutinho, 8-4, coming off a huge second round finish like he usually does in that cage, man. He just comes forwards and he knocks your head off, man. So, Kris, thanks again, man, and you enjoy your night, and we'll definitely talk to you very soon. Like I said, when we hear something, we'll have you and a few of the regiment boys down here live, and we'll just, shoot the shit all together.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. God bless. One more thing, actually. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram, Kris_is_soulless, and Facebook and all the other Twitter and everything. It's just my name. Thank you guys, and thank you.
Excellent. Kris Moutinho, out of here. Kris, we'll talk to you very soon, man. You have a good one, and good luck with that Ultimate Fighter show, bro.
You too. Thank you.
All right, later.
Peace.
All right. Kris Moutinho. Man, the last 5 minutes of what he had to say, man, was awesome. That kid is definitely a beast. A really, really good kid. And like he said, Kris is not a guy that is online or he's very private, and he likes to be, likes to do things on his own as far as with his girlfriend and family. He's not a big social media guy there. But he definitely shows his shit when he gets in that cage, man. And he did at CES 61, taking out a big prospect with, a second round TKO. So congratulations, Kris, on that. Last thing I want to say before I leave tonight is we have a president's race out there. Aaron Hughes is watching right now. Aaron Hughes is going to be making his pro debut one of these days. We don't know when. As soon as someone calls him and gives him a matchup. But last thing I want to say right now, I think I got, what do I got right here? I just want to ask you all about this. Who won and who is our president? Because I have no idea. I put a bunch of memes out there. There's memes flying all over the place. As far as I know, the mail-in vote is the decider, and supposedly Joe Biden is leading, and he could be our new president. So, like I said today, no matter who is in charge, USA is the best country in the world. And no matter who is at the wheel, it's the best country to be in, to live in, and to make something out of yourself. So with that said, the Room Podcast, I'm sorry, I'm hitting all buttons here and trying to figure things out. But the Room Podcast, we out of here. We'll see you next week.